Hi everyone, welcome to English Today Journal. And hey, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy learning English in a simple and practical way.
Forcing a dramatic change. It's about patience and consistency. One day, it might be a few minutes of meditation, the next day a kind word to yourself, or a tiny step toward understanding someone else. Each of these choices helps your heart heal. The small steps add up, and soon forgiveness becomes part of your life. Not because the other person has changed, but because you have chosen to take care of your own peace. Remember, forgiveness is a practice. It is gentle, it takes time, and it is worth every effort. Day by day, choice by choice, breath by breath, you can learn to let go of the pain that holds you back. Over time, these little acts will transform your heart, bringing freedom, lightness, and peace that you deserve. Forgiveness isn't a single event, it's a lifelong journey, built one small step at a time. Forgiveness can feel impossible at first, but over time it can become natural and peaceful. The key is to start small. Ask yourself, what small step can I take today to practice forgiveness in a way that feels real to me? Forgiveness isn't about changing the past. The past has already happened. Instead, it's about creating a lighter, freer future for yourself and the people around you. Choosing to forgive is always a choice, and it can bring powerful changes inside you. At first, the changes may be subtle, almost too quiet to notice. It might feel like a soft breeze passing through, gentle and fleeting. But if you keep choosing forgiveness, those small shifts grow stronger. Slowly, your heart begins to feel lighter. The heavy weight you've been carrying, anger, regret, sadness, starts to lift. Imagine carrying a backpack full of stones. Every step feels heavier because of the load. Each act of forgiveness is like removing one stone. With each stone you release, your steps become easier. Your body feels freer, your spirit feels lighter, and one day you realize you are walking without the burden that once weighed you down. That lightness of heart is one of the greatest gifts forgiveness can bring. Forgiveness also changes the way we relate to other people. When we release old grudges, we make room for kindness, patience, and understanding. This doesn't mean forgetting what happened or allowing harmful people back into your life. Boundaries are still necessary. But forgiveness helps you stop letting past pain control how you interact with others in the present. Think about how holding on to anger toward one person can spill into every part of your life. Maybe it makes you less patient with your family, less trusting with friends, or more easily irritated at work. Carrying grudges spreads the weight across all areas of life. Letting go of that anger allows your mind and heart to rest. It gives you more energy, more patience, and a clearer view of your relationships. Forgiveness also helps you forgive yourself. Often, the hardest person to forgive is the one in the mirror. We replay our own mistakes, criticize ourselves, and feel unworthy of kindness. But self-forgiveness is about remembering that making mistakes is human. Your errors do not define you. You can learn from them, grow, and move forward. Treat yourself with the same patience and compassion you would offer a close friend. Every small choice to forgive, whether toward yourself or others, builds over time. Maybe today it's writing your feelings in a journal. Maybe it's taking a few minutes to breathe and repeat a gentle phrase like, I choose peace, or I let go of anger. Perhaps it's setting a small boundary or offering yourself one kind thought. Each step matters. Each act of forgiveness lightens the load you carry, softens your heart, and opens space for joy and connection. Over time, these small steps create a lasting change. You may not notice it immediately, but one day you will. You'll look back and see that something that once felt impossible now feels natural. You'll walk through life lighter, freer, and more open. You'll treat yourself and others with greater patience and understanding. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, one small choice at a time. By practicing it every day, you create a life where peace, freedom, and lightness are possible, and you deserve that gift. Holding on to pain from one relationship can quietly affect every part of your life. You might become impatient with friends, quick to judge strangers, or even distant with family. The anger or hurt you carry doesn't just stay in one place. It spreads like a chain reaction. But forgiveness can stop that cycle. When you choose to forgive, you open the door to healthier, warmer connections, not only with the person you forgive, but with everyone around you. You start to trust more, listen more, and love more fully. Forgiveness doesn't just fix one relationship, it changes the way you connect with the world. Another powerful gift of forgiveness is peace of mind. Staying angry is exhausting. Think about all the hours spent replaying arguments in your head, the restless nights, the tension that settles into your shoulders, jaw, or chest. Anger drains your energy and steals your joy. Forgiveness breaks that cycle. It allows you to return to the present moment and enjoy simple pleasures again, feeling the warmth of the sun on your face, laughing with a friend, or sipping a quiet cup of tea. When you let go of the past, these small moments become easier to notice and savor. The peace that comes from forgiveness is a kind of freedom that fills both your heart and mind. Let me share a story to show what this can look like in real life. There was a man named Daniel who carried deep anger toward his father for many years. When Daniel was a child, his father was harsh and distant. Instead of affection, Daniel experienced criticism and coldness. These wounds followed him into adulthood. Even after his father passed away, Daniel's anger stayed alive inside him like a fire he could not put out. He believed that forgiving his father would mean pretending everything was okay. But in his heart, he knew it wasn't. His pain was real, and he didn't want to dishonor it by pretending otherwise. Over time, Daniel realized something important. The anger he had been holding onto for so many years was hurting him far more than it hurt anyone else. It affected his health, his relationships, and even his sense of happiness. Every time he thought about his father, he felt tension, resentment, and sadness, even when there was no reason for it in that present moment. Daniel began to understand that forgiveness wasn't about saying what happened was acceptable. It wasn't about forgetting or excusing the past. Instead, forgiveness was about freeing himself from the weight he had been carrying for decades. When Daniel made the choice to forgive, something shifted inside him. The anger began to loosen its grip. He could remember the past without reliving the pain in every moment. He still acknowledged that what happened was wrong, but he no longer let it control his life. Forgiveness gave him room to breathe, to rest, and to enjoy the present. It also opened space for him to connect with others without carrying the shadow of old hurt. His relationships became calmer and kinder. He even found himself more patient, more compassionate, and more able to experience joy without guilt or tension. This is the heart of forgiveness. It's not about excusing bad behavior. It's not about saying the pain didn't matter. It's about choosing peace for yourself. When we forgive, we stop allowing the past to rule our present. We reclaim our energy, our joy, and our freedom. And like Daniel, we can learn that forgiveness doesn't dishonor our pain. It honors it by allowing us to grow beyond it. Each small step toward forgiveness, whether it's forgiving others or ourselves, is a step toward a lighter, freer, and more peaceful life. Carrying anger and resentment can quietly affect every part of your life. It can strain your marriage, your friendships, and even your ability to enjoy simple pleasures. Daniel felt this deeply. The anger toward his father had followed him for decades, and it weighed on his heart, making life feel heavier than it needed to. One day, while walking alone and reflecting, he made a quiet decision. He said to himself, "I cannot change the past, but I can choose to stop letting it control me." Forgiveness didn't happen all at once for Daniel. It didn't come in a single dramatic moment. Instead, it arrived slowly, step by step, through small, deliberate actions. He began by writing in his journal, pouring out all the hurt, anger, and sadness he had been carrying for years. He gave his feelings a safe space to exist on paper where they could be acknowledged without judgment. He also reached out to a trusted friend, speaking openly about what he felt and letting someone else hear his story. And importantly, he began speaking gently to himself, offering small words of kindness, reminding himself that letting go was possible, even if it felt difficult. Each tiny step started to make a difference. The heavy anger inside him began to soften. The tension that had lived in his shoulders, chest, and mind began to ease. He felt lighter, calmer, and more at peace than he had in years. Slowly, a sense of happiness returned, one that had seemed impossible before. Daniel realized that forgiveness doesn't erase the past. What happened is still real, but it changes the way we live in the present and move toward the future. Forgiveness opens doors that anger and resentment keep closed. It allows us to move forward without being chained to old pain. It changes how we see the world and how we relate to others. We begin to approach life with a softer heart and gentler eyes. We are no longer prisoners of old hurts. Instead, we can engage fully with life, love more freely, and connect more deeply with those around us. Forgiveness also creates space for joy. The little things, walking in the sun, laughing with friends, enjoying quiet moments, become richer because our hearts are not weighed down. The beauty of forgiveness is that it is a choice. It isn't about letting someone else win or excusing what they did. It is about letting yourself win. It is choosing peace over pain, freedom over bitterness, hope over regret. And while forgiveness can be slow and sometimes difficult, every small step matters. A kind word to yourself, a moment of reflection, a gentle release of old anger, these are all victories on the path toward healing. Over time, these small steps add up, transforming your life in ways that may surprise you. So, take a quiet moment to reflect. Who do you need to forgive? Is it someone else? Or is it yourself? What small step could you take today to let go of even a tiny piece of that weight? Perhaps it's writing your thoughts down, speaking to someone you trust, or simply breathing deeply and saying, "I choose peace." Even the smallest step is meaningful. With patience and persistence, forgiveness can grow, one gentle action at a time. By choosing forgiveness, you choose freedom. You choose a lighter heart. You choose a life where joy, love, and peace have room to grow. And that, more than anything, is worth striving for.